Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few days. I kind of forgot that I still work. So yeah, I haven't had the time to do the first 2 days, but this is me catching up, so I'm going to release 3 days in one go. So in between that time, I've also been tagged by Bizarre Individual to do the Bibi's World tag, and I really think it's appropriate to include that as part of this event because the host is Bibi's World. So I will be shuffling around my schedule. I think I'll be removing one of my anime features and including this tag for like the next video. And yeah, just see the updated schedule down below. That is that. In this video we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite characters in anime of all time up till now. But keep this in mind that these are not ranked in any order. I wouldn't call any character above any other character. It's just I like them for different reasons. So just think of them all as my number one. Normally when I talk about favorite characters, I go by one per series, but in this video that's not going to be the case. I think for the 12 days of anime, I want to make a lot of videos that are very just me and kind of very biased, of course, but I just thought it would be nice because I'm always thinking of like trying not to be biased and stuff. It'd be nice for once just to let go. So I put together a list in no particular order. I like Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. He actually wasn't my favorite character for a very long time. I liked many other characters before him, but after spending so much time with One Piece and getting to know all the characters, I realized that a lot of my favorite moments were Luffy was the source of them. And I kind of appreciated him as a character, his depth, and all these other things. You know, he's one of those characters that are very easily passed off as typical main character for Shonen Jump, and to a point that he is, but he is much more than that. So, yeah, I hope people, as they watch the show or get to know the series of One Piece, realize and see the appeal of Luffy as a character. In the same series, I'm also going to include Perona. She's not my favorite character in terms of like depth, but her aesthetic is really up my alley. I love anything Halloween, anything goth lolly, roses, frills, ribbons, bats, all these other yeah, goth lolly things. And she fits that aesthetic, and also I find her quite adorable. She has that very annoying, naggy, complaining personality, but normally characters like that I don't like because they end up getting in the way of the main characters. Piranha is very much not like that. She starts off as a villain, but she switches sides, and after that she's just been a big help to the whole team, never in the way or anything, so I really appreciate her. Next on my list is Gintoki from Gintama. He is just the most coolest. He's very laid back, a very different kind of main character to Luffy, even though they're both from Shonen Jump. They both share maturity, but Gintoki has a more jaded, relaxed approach to dealing with things, whereas Luffy is more outspoken and energetic. Gintoki also has a really adorable design. I really appreciate his naturally curly hair and dead fish eyes. It really does. Gintoki looks great. Okay, anyway, next character. Also from Shonen Jump. There's actually a lot of Shonen Jump in here. Are they all Shonen Jump? No. Also from Shonen Jump, though not the main character, is Kroll Lucifer from Hunter x Hunter. One of my favorite characters ever Firstly, he has goth aesthetics, so I love that, but he's also a very cool and calculating character, very level-headed, and he's also got a great... I feel like he has a sense of humor, which I really appreciate. He's very monotone though, so I don't know, but how he treats his friends, how he treats his enemies, I think he's just great. My gosh, I just love him. His design is really cool too. I think his defining feature in the manga and the anime is that he has really big round eyes, which is kind of misleading because most evil characters tend to have like thin, angled eyes, kind of like Hisoka, also from Hunter x Hunter. But Kroll has these really round, innocent eyes, which really is deceiving, I guess. Gyro and Gappy from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know I'm cheating a little bit here because they're not from anime. I am pulling Gyro's from Steel Ball Run in part 7 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Gappy is from part 8, both of which are not in anime yet, but I guess I can include Bucciarati along with Gyro because I like them for basically the same reason. Bucciarati is from part 5, which is currently airing. Basically, the reason why I like both of these characters is that they are supposed to be support characters, but they're clearly the star of their show. Gyro and Bucciarati are both really warm and good characters. Gyro just comes across a little bit more of an ass than Bucciarati, who has more of a traditional moral compass and how he communicates, I guess. But both characters, especially Gyro, he is just so well developed. I can't describe because the series is so weird. I can talk about certain scenes that happen and make no sense. So if you ever read the manga, I highly recommend you start with part 7 because part 7 is a kind of a reboot of the JoJo universe. Part 7 and part 8 is one timeline. Part 1 to part 6 are one timeline. So you can choose where to start. The best thing about JoJo is that they have so many parts, you can basically jump into any one of them. And then you can just backtrack if you've missed any. Next on my list is Kitaro from Gegege no Kitaro. Not specifically the 2018 version, though I really don't mind him in 2018. I just like him in general across all generations of Gegege no Kitaro. I really find his character design interesting and appealing. I love the creepy, the ugly, kind of the retro look as well. I just love all of that stuff. And Kitaro's character is like one of my favorites. He's so distant or indifferent to human problems. I really, really appreciate that. And he's an interesting role model for kids because he doesn't have the traditional moral compass, but I can still consider him a good guy. Next on my list is Mob from Mob Psycho. Very, very cute. My favorite cinnamon roll kind of good boy character is Mob. I know he is overpowered and all that, but I just need to protect this boy. He is so sweet, and I know his design is probably the most plain, which adds to his charm, I think. He's got a very plain design, but his is the word correct? Disposition. Just how he is super pleasant, and I love him. He's so cute. Mob Psycho is also a great manga, great anime, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Next character on my list is Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji, because everyone knows on this channel that I love Kaiji Season 1. It's my favorite, one of my favorite animes ever. I've watched this series only, particularly Season 1, like over 10 times. It is really good. And Kaiji, unlike everyone else on my list, is probably the least admirable. He's mostly pathetic and kind of a loser. The reason why I like him is that he is so vulnerable and human. He just can't help being that way, because I feel like most humans are. Whether people admit to relating to him or not is a different story, but I feel like everyone can find a piece of them in Kaiji. His pathetic, his helplessness, his weakness, I guess, and also his strength are superhuman. Like, he's a genius when it comes to it, but up until that point, he's just a real idiot. Idiot because we are on the viewer's seat, but I feel like if we were put into such a situation, most people put it into his situation, do what he does, and you just can't help but feel bad for that. It's an interesting character. I love him. The series that he's from is just so good. So if you're into gambling anime or want to check it out, Kaiji is like the best of the best. Last character on my list is Mikazuki Oga's. Of course, I would include Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans in here, and Mikazuki's my favorite of this series. He actually caught me off guard on so many different levels. Before I started watching the show, I only started because of this character design. The character design for Iron-Blooded Orphans was very different to what I was expecting from Gundam in general. I thought it leaned more towards Yu-Gi-Oh! Than it does to other Bishonen characters, which they've been doing a lot. So think Gundam Wing, 90s Bishonen character, 00, Seed, and all that stuff. I think they've always gone for the good-looking kind of character designs at the time, but Iron-Blooded Orphans, I think because modern standards are so like all over the place, they just really went with a different sort of look, and I really appreciate. I love the concept artist Yu Ito. She does the manga Shut Hell, which unfortunately is not in English at the moment, but I feel like it's one of those deserving ones. Might be picked up by Dark Horse or any of these like Seven Seas or Vertical, maybe, I hope. But it's definitely really good. The appeal of Mikazuki's design is that there's a lot of contrast with his silhouette. His body is short and sharp and angular. He's really skinny but extremely muscular. It's kind of like the hot and cold. And his overcoat is really big, loose, and soft looking. So on the exterior, he has this really plush appearance, but when that is off, he is just really angular and skinny and hard and painful looking, which I really appreciate. I thought it was a cool contrast. He also is a lot like Hiro Yui, who I really like, except less of a jerk. So, he's like the nicer Hiro Yui I really appreciate. I just find his character to be very, very cool. He's very cool. All the other characters are quite nice in Iron-Blooded Orphans, but Mikazuki is just like top tier design, so I do like him. I think that is 10. I just had like dots on these names, so I don't know for sure. But I did write a list. I can read out just everyone else. I won't describe or explain any of them. So, Dianu from Seven Deadly Sins, Usagi from Sailor Moon, Oboro from Gintama, Aiza from My Hero Academia, Ginko from Mushishi, Alucard from Hellsing, Sesshomaru from Inuyasha, Corazon from One Piece, Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin, Naruko from Yowamushi Pedal, Garo from One Punch Man, Toriko from Toriko, Gaara from Naruto, and Shikamaru from Naruto. These are just some of my ocean of favorite characters out there. And I hope you found this video interesting, or I've introduced you to some characters that you've never really looked at properly before. I just really hope you like this video. I know it's really long. Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!